So I appreciate you tuning in to the the only one that I know of, the official live art thread for the NFT community. And we'll see if I can't bring this in the right way. I appreciate you joining me today and tuning in. July 30th here, July 30th. Hopefully you can hear me. I see the chat happening. I'm also logged in here to Twitter, so I can see what's happening there. And we already have the live art thread posted up. All you have to do is drop your art there. And remember, it's not fact. It's not like I write the laws and if V or Freaks, approves or denies what you have to share, all of a sudden you're not going to sell. Yeah, you are. Hell yeah, you are. The difference, though, is I'm doing this freestyle. And so I can only kind of grab a hold of what makes sense to me at that time. So first of all, I appreciate you joining me. If you haven't already, you should subscribe. You should follow me. You should leave some comments. You should support Freaks worldwide. What's up, Minimal Vector, Scott, Random? What's up, Max, Chevette, Samira, Mind of a Creative, Cake One, Anubis? I see y'all, Eric, Tesseract, Jonas. Okay. If you want to tune in, if you want to get to where we are, all you have to do is come right over here to the pinned tweet at twitter.com/NFTfreaks. What's up, Shroomstep? And make sure you drop your piece in that YouTube live art thread. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to review it. I'm going to give you just a feedback. I'm going to give you a review of the username that I've seen around the community and the art. And I'm not anybody. I'm not nobody. But I'm a great person to get some review back from. Maybe I can get your mind cooking. You feel me? So first of all, I appreciate you joining. Hey, please alert your community. Please let your peers know who does it the best, because everybody can drop a thread, but when you take it next level, people have to know. And that's what we're doing here. We're taking artists to the next level. So hopefully everybody can hear me. I'm going through this art right now. I'm going to go up and down this thread. I might pass you. I might not. I might come back. I might talk about it. It's whatever's going to pull me right away, right? And right now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scroll the thread and kind of see what I'm up against, right? And see how I'm going to jump this off. And it's basically the one that pulls me kind of right away, right? And so I'm searching. I'm just looking. I'm seeing what we got. Okay. Then I'll come back up. And I'll go back down one more time. This is really how I look at art, by the way. And then I'll come and I'm like, okay, Brian, check this out. I've been seeing your works, right? I've been seeing your works around the community. I know the username. I see you're a Sly Guys holder, so it's only right I give you a review. And this stuff here screams originality. Your pieces, when they come across, they're non-asset driven, right? So they don't look like everybody else's. There's nothing you're downloading too much, or if you are, it's nothing that anybody else is finding or using or familiarizing the community with. So you have a great way of coming in with that originality and coming in with your own style. And if you can get collectors to come off and fire off, which in this piece you can see, there's this mask up top, this arrow, this kind of a spear, the feather, I don't know, it's like what people wear around their neck. It's part of the attire for sure, but it's this feather style brush stroke that's coming down. Then it's an Indian type of style. It almost looks like he's looking at a totem pole. You got that sculpture with the face. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff going on artistically. That's what makes this piece great. I love the eyeball that I'm catching at the very top. Again, the face, the originality, and the fact that you got that culture wrapped all in one. I think it's great. I think it's amazing. I think that's what people like about it. It's what I like about it. So I appreciate you stopping by and seeing that. Let's analyze this person real quick. The one and only Cake1.eth. First of all, great username. Great username. Highly, highly recommended to add to your network. Reason why? Because super active. She's super active. Okay? 4,000 followers. Imagine you get under there at 4,000. Imagine when they reach 10. Imagine Cake1 reaches 10. You're in there at 4, 6 more. You're in there at 10. Anything above there, you're grandfathered into her network, right? You're going to want to add people with art like this. This yellow piece is amazing. The pose, the capture, the sexiness, the classiness, the kind of the blur from the face in the midst on how you come from fog to clear. I love that. And then I love the little style of what she's wearing right there with the little coinage. It's like a coinage type of I don't know. My mind has it going off as like something symmetric, that little chain gang thing you got going on right there. That's amazing. I love that yellow in the back. I love the complementing of the colors that you're doing in the background, like the blue here. You're going to come off, give us another subject wearing the same type of, maybe it's the same girl, right? Maybe I'll go back. Maybe I'll look there. Maybe I'll look back. Okay. Maybe it is, right? And now I'm seeing it again, that same chain link, that same little penny copper thing going on. I love the little thing where on the bottom it looks like a little blurry and muddy and misty, and then it comes up and gets clear. The subject's looking classy, sexy, has its own emotion looking at me. I love the strands of the hair. I just love the way you're utilizing this subject and then putting the backlight to the drop. And now I'm seeing the subject more clearly. So it's like you're giving me different poses that kind of show me different angles so I can take the whole entire lady or fantasy girl or cyber girl in. I love that. That's amazing. And as I go, here it is, the final one, the red one. So I like the red, green, blue, and yellow touch you just did, which gives us these 4 pieces. If you don't know about Cake1 now, you need to, because eventually this person might get to the very top, and you can tell because of the way they're coming. Look at it. It's just, it's spectacular. The colors of it, the colors itself grab me and kind of keep me here. But the fact that you're using that same girl keeps me interested. That's more project-like. So I'm always going to share stuff like that. Here's another person I'm going to share just right off the bat. This Sergi8.eth, always coming out with original works. Here's another testimony to that original work. It's this Skeletor Knight style, again, non-asset driven, just original. I love that Is it a stab wound right there that I'm seeing with the blood coming out right there? I love the sword. I love the way that it's just stunning because of the way you're using the sword in a downward manner. It's not jagged. It doesn't have all kinds of stuff going on. It's just this clean slate of steel. Then you got this light coming down from the top in the dark where it's galactic or got that Milky Way. Man, with the mesh screen, that's amazing stuff there, Sergi 8. Always going to share somebody like that. And if you haven't added Sergi, and I knew I was following at 2,300, if you haven't added Sergi 8 to your network, I don't know who it is that you're waiting to add to your network. Let's just keep it like that. Here's another person you're going to want to add to your network for sure. Every time the art comes around, I could almost never pass it up. The way that you take your mind and even come up with these things that tunnel out. It's not the first one that I've seen. You've done this style before where you tunnel out the vision and you're really good at showing that picture that makes it look like it goes longer than it should. It's just a still picture. It's a flat picture, but it looks like it has so much more room because of the style that you're using to gaze out in that tunnel vision stare. Then you got that whole detailed thing going around the wall with the smears and the mud stains, full body off texture or tattoos, girl and guy, anybody can relate to if you've been in a relationship of any sort. And then you got the heart to seal the deal right there. And that's another person you want to add right there. Scott Bateman Art in the house. Appreciate you stopping by. This one here also is brought to you by the one and only Bang Bang. Put that in your life one day. Yo, Bang. Right? Check this out. Let's cover Monsterafo, whatever you want to call this. Supreme Team Art. Top of the line art. Not only that, I'm a collector of this person. Obviously, I got the Pac-Man looking figure out of the bunch. I love the style. I love the originality. I love the architecture. If more people can get behind these projects that sport this art, we can actually show that art can be a real utility. That's what it's all about. PFPs are signaling all sorts of stuff based off of traits and rarities and this and that. And you know what? PFPs with art can sport itself too. You know what I mean? And this is a great project that starts to do that. And there's many other ones, but Monsterafo is one that I'm behind. And this one here is spectacular. I love that old look that anybody can put on somebody riding a bike like that. But the bike is still kind of super futuristic because you're coming through a whole new made of it. Man, it's amazing. Thanks for stopping by and giving us a chance to look at that. And like Cake One said, I just love them all. I do too. Let's talk about this guy here real quick. We'll share him because I know what's going on. Market Monster Comics, The Adventures of Growing Garlic and Tomato, Mischief and Market Mayhem. Got the little emblem going down here. Volume 1, Issue 1 looks like the top. Got that retro comic style going on. Obviously has a comic going on with the story, but let me tell you why I like Eric John. Eric John's primary program is a pizza program that he's been running before AI ever showed up or before this stuff ever became popular. And so the fact that he's went ahead and sold the primaries, came in and maybe knocked off some more than usual primaries and went to multi editions and opened up the nifty pizzas and stuff like that. He's creating these collections and then he's closing them out. And what's great about it is he takes a hold of the AI concept now and he's powering the main program, the Eric John Pizza, but he's still keeping it fine-tuned to what he came to do, which is what? Originally, pizza. And that's what I love about it. Mid-journey, his journey, their journey, her journey, it doesn't matter. It's the pizza journey when it comes down to it. And the collectors that are involved with Eric John and the career path and the path that he's choosing to go down for NFT and where he's headed with his pizza show, it looks like it's just never going to stop. The key is becoming the master in every one of those steps that you introduce. And here's a great example. And I'm a collector of this collection because of what I'm telling you. So not only am I selling you, I've also sold myself on that. That's why I went ahead and made a purchase. Maybe if you have time to do it, you take a look at it too and answer to that. Here's another person I'm going to share. Let's take a look at this. AKA Foley. If you don't know AKA Foley, that's a great username to support you. Why are we going to support AKA Foley here? Number one, because I know about the program that he's running and he pays attention to what's happening. When you understand what's happening in the community, When you can rally up some support and you're willing to put your time behind it, whether you put diamonds, rubies, jewels, it doesn't matter. It becomes a diamond for me instantly because you're putting your time and labor behind it. And that's why this piece is incredible to me. Whatever it is, this here is a jewel. It's a diamond. It's part of his collection. So the idea, I wanted to use this as an example of saying, it's not just movie style art. It's not just this or that. This is a token representing a username that if you know and understand how the community works and how support works, you're going to want somebody like AKA Foley to show up. And that's why I'm going to be representing for his token and his art. It's a lot of these people in NFT that I cut more for the token side than I do for the art. Doesn't mean that the art's bad at all. It just means that if you're looking for something that's moving and flooring you and knocking your socks off, you don't need to always look for that when you can look for the diamond within the username that's going to support you throughout the whole game. And you can do that by supporting the token. That's why the token becomes valuable, by the way. Another thing, let's do this real quick because another thing is, thank you for joining me today. If you like what you hear, if you like what you see, feel free to subscribe, follow. I'm just getting used to this stuff. I'm jumping back here in the chat for a second. We got 72 viewers in the house. 72 people care about what the Freaks has to say. And for me, it's just raw feedback. I'm not holding any punches. I'm not trying to swoon anybody. I'm not trying to play on anybody's side. I just want to give back the real feedback. So if people are listening, they can understand why a lot of this stuff matters. It matters more than just creating artworks or giving my time on YouTube or reviewing my peers. We're not here trying to rug anybody. We're sitting here and we're encapsulating our time and our labor, and you're seeing it being represented by a token. And a lot of these people know how to make sexy tokens. They know how to work the art program where the token becomes incredible to collect. And some people package an incredible username. It doesn't really matter. I don't have any tokens. So if you support me and if you come in here and if you like what I do, Freaks You and Sly Guys is pretty much all you have. Well, it's not that anything. That's my tokens. And you have to understand that in NFT, that's what we're doing a lot of the time. We're selling ourselves through a series of tokens, okay? And if you can put and lay incredible art on top of that, you have a real deal winner. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right. I think we're going to come right back. We're going to get back in the art thread. If you don't have your art in the thread, I had a cough, I had a sneeze, I had to do a couple of things, clear my throat. So I had to mute us, put us in a be right back session and then come right back and get right back to it. But if you don't have your art in the best art thread that I know about, the only live art thread happening on YouTube, by the way, in the community, then you're totally missing out. What I'm doing here is, first of all, highlighting the artist, the username, the art, and then at the very end, asking for people to support the same people that we're highlighting. Once we do that, we're signaling to other players in the community that these usernames are active in the NFT space and they understand what's happening and they understand what's going on, and they can do that at twitter.com/NFT freaks. Again, twitter.com/NFT freaks. If you're watching this in YouTube land, La La land, whatever land, I hope you join us. Here's somebody we're going to review real quick. First of all, the username, Mind of a Creative. You want female empowerment? You've never met female empowerment until you meet mindofacreative.eth. And the network that she's building with females, I love it. The entire female concept of representing the NFT space empowers me as a collector and a token holder to grab that token and say, hey, look, you might want to get your hands on this person before others do. And then you take a look at the piece. Who's this piece? Mind of a Creative, Poker Chick collab. There's two strong females, a representation of female empowerment. You got to have a versatile and you got to diversify your digital binder, which is your wallet. And so you want to add a lot of players. And so when it comes time, if you're a man for sure, right? And that's what I'm speaking of because I'm a man, I got a beard, right? There's going to have to be a time where you open that digital binder and allow women to come in. If you need help finding one, there it is. You'll get 2 for 1. I don't know about a discount for that. And if you haven't checked those networks, then you won't understand why the prize of looking at something like this matters. And that's why you want to take a look at this piece, share this piece, support this piece. And listen, if you can't buy it, supporting is almost like a ghost buy. I can't buy you, but I'll ghost buy you. Why? Because I'll support you. And when I support you, it looks as if I would buy you if I had the money or if I could. It's not always about buying. It's about supporting to push that person forward for maybe somebody else discovering to buy. And as long as you can do that, nobody can hold you accountable, I don't think. And first of all, what are you doing here? That's part of your work. You want to be sharing people like LePro, right? Who comes in here with this fantastic version of what I consider when I go to the beach or when I go to places like this. I'm always looking for this seashell. I've put my ear to stuff like this. I've tried to figure out where this is at. This reminds me of a vacation, of an escape. This reminds me of putting this on my ear when I was a kid and hearing this. And then you put the cloud reflection from the sky. I don't know if that's a real photo on my Lanta, right? But it's beautiful. It's serene. It takes me there. It lets me concentrate. It could take me to the best memory that I've ever had with my parents, matter of fact. And I've seen a little 4-piece of this series with the same type of hue and color. And I got to say, man, it's amazing. And I love what you're doing. LePro, first of all, I've already told you way before I even got cool with you, the pink Sly Guys always sticks out to me. That's how I remember you, even though it's a shameless plug. 21,000 followers. Every time I converse with you, every time I interact with you, it's nothing but love. And yeah, man, keep going. I appreciate you in my art thread. I appreciate you supporting me with keys, and I appreciate you on the back channels. And yeah, it's always good to gain somebody like you in this game. Here's somebody else you want to gain in the game. And let me not refrain from saying the name. Q Films TV is the name. And purple's his game. And I'm telling you right now, you want to be able to signal with people who are doing great art. You want to be able to add your timeline to reflect great art. And you want somebody like Q Films who's been here from the very start, with me, right? When I start, he start, I saw, he saw. Been a strong supporter of mine. So what does that mean? It alerts me to say that if you add him to your network, you have a strong supporter yourself. It's not just one-sided with these people. They're showing their characteristics. They're showing themselves and other relationships that are public, and you're able to view them. Every time you see Q Films, it keeps it 100. Hasn't went nowhere, stuck behind his art, standing by his art. I appreciate you supporting and signaling somebody like that. And let's talk about the piece, the purple reflection, the hand coming out with the halo across, the reflection of the balls, and a city lights landscape with the water coming. That, man, it's beautiful. It's got this feeling to it like, come on and play and let's go. But oh yeah, keep that luxury feel with that reflective side where you could see it and say, hey, I'm about to enter this metaverse skyscraper of some sort. Things are getting serious. I could see this in a pond in the future now that I'm letting my mind wander. Maybe the halo goes around a little slow. It's amazing, man. I'm looking at the fingers and the chrome reflection into there with the green and the blues go down right there, and you keep the purple. It's so hard. I'm sorry, I'm keep harping on Q Films here. It's so hard for me to make that many pieces with the fucking one color. Sorry. And that's the last thing I'm going to plug about Q. True to his name, true to his game. And I told you, purple is the thing that he does, man. It's so hard to see that many pieces and say he's using purple again and kill it every single time. Let me review this person real quick. First of all, I'm a collector of Dave. It's biased. Second of all, why aren't you? Third of all, let's take a look at the piece. Fourth of all, when do you call it quits on a piece and say too much is too much? That's what I'm looking at. I've reviewed this piece before. I'll review it again. I love the colors. I love the whites that you're using, and then you call it enough. I love the greens that you're using, then you call it enough. And then you have a mixture of the green and the whites right here in the plants, right here in the left section. I don't know if you can see my mouse. I don't know if that's showing. But in this bottom left corner where the butterflies, and then you go to the top right, and then you have this frame with the green leaves in the background. Then you have this subject here that just looks beautiful. And it's almost world class. It's almost a world class manipulation when you look at it, because you can tell that if you could illuminate this piece from the back end correctly, or if you could put it at its right space, you got the signature to the bottom right corner. If this artist, these artists that are building, let's cut over to the front as you support this one. First of all, I appreciate you tuning in right now. I see the chat going on, 55 viewers. If you want to, you can share the live art thread so more people can join us. When you're doing this art stuff and you're making pieces like this that I'm reviewing, you need to keep in mind that when these people go to the very top, if they do, it's all funny. The swan piece and this piece and all that, it's all funny. Everything, yeah, okay. And so when that artist grows and everything starts to become a reality and big whales start to come and signal, and then they take that artist to new heights, it's no longer funny. And it's not going to be new people that reintroduce themselves that are most likely going to take off right away. It's going to be the people that sat back and took the time to build that. And that's where a lot of artists don't understand that when you're here and you're not selling, or when you're here and you're working and you're tweeting and you're doing things, you're actually hustling way more than you really think, because you're solidifying your name in the game. And when you look at somebody like a Dave, right, which we were just at, and you say, oh, okay, I see that piece. I see what V's talking about. And then somebody signals him all the way to 10th. Oh, then you really know what I'm talking about. And that's what I'm trying to say. You have to be willing to look now. Look now. You know what I mean? What's up, Dave in the house, Tiggy in the house, Minimal Vector Scott, Joel, Designer Lucas. Forgive me if I butcher the name. Brian, Jonas, Tesseract, Random Mind of a Creative, Samira. Man, what's up? EIX, Winchawa. Got Quentin in the house, Anubis. What's up, man? I appreciate you joining. I appreciate everybody joining, stopping by. We're going to continue with the only official live art thread I know about. Check out this guy, Seattle Driver. He's doing this thing. Let me tell you about Seattle Driver. He's doing this thing with AI where he drives a program of Sasquatch pieces. What, like, who cares, right? Why? Give a fuck about that, right? Right? But he's willing to sell out to that. He's willing to say, you know what, V, every time you see me, another Sasquatch. I'm building a program and I'm believing in it. And I'm encapsulating my time and labor. And then you get the piece. And then when you understand that, you're like, wow, okay, you got this one running through the forest now because you used to only do the portraits with the face. I see where you're going here. And you're expanding beyond just the norm of where you first started. And so now you're giving your collectors value because you got full body pieces. That's what I'm looking at in my eyes. They're actually actionable shots now. And when you're behind that and you put your faith behind it, you put your time behind it, and you mint behind it, it starts to become valuable. And people don't understand that about NFT. They try to do it in a day. They try to do one Sasquatch. No, he's been doing them. And that's why I'm going to represent for a Seattle Driver. And that's why I'm going to represent for this piece. And that's why I'm going to try to explain that program to other people, because I like stuff like that. I appreciate people who take the time out to build around that and stick through that, because nothing has value until your consistency behind the pieces start to make them valuable. And this is a username who's showing you how to do that. So I appreciate you stopping by and giving myself an example to do that. Here's somebody I'm going to review all the time he comes through. First of all, He's 15 years old. Pause. Pause. Don't get scared. Don't run. Did I see usernames leave? Don't leave. He's 15 years old, right? Pops is LaPro. Doxed. Pops is LaPro. LaPro, the one we saw earlier, right? Seashell, ear. Okay, stop. In that house, shit gets talked about. I'm a fan. Immediately, I'm a fan, right? Second of all, the art. Look at it. Its own style, flat version art. I love this minimalistic, flat version style. I've said it again. I'll said it before. I'll say it again. The future of Web3 holds its space in websites and web design and applications and things of that nature and games. And they're going to need UI and UX. And when you look at art like this, this is what's going to survive there. And if you can pick that up early and help signal that for the future, and the artist can take that a little further, right here is where you have the beginning of a freaking crazy diamond. Right? Because the age allows you, the art allows you, the ideas allow you, the opportunity allows you. And these are all what ifs, right? And you can look at the piece, how you utilize the pinks and the purples, and then you stop and you don't add too much. You don't take away too little. You got this one subject right in the middle, the cross section up top, the moon in the corner, the clouds come in beautifully, only two from the pages running off. Man. Come on, give it up. And you know what I like right now before I leave here? I like when I look down and I see 3 reflections in the water. God. I don't need to be afraid to say it. I don't need to be afraid to give people what they need to. I'm not afraid to give people the credit when credit's due, no matter what age you are. If you see these puddles right here, before we leave, 3 of them, 1, 2, 3. The reason why I say that is because I've done quality checks. I've done all of that. And by the way, the fact that I can barely see, so I can see the arch fading away in the water from the depth. My point is if you're quality checking this or if you're staring at, you could have called it quits without the puddles. The reflection that I'm talking about. And so the fact that you put that in there, the fact that you went and continued, so I know who I'm dealing with at 15 years. That's what I'm trying to say. And right there is Pops again. Shared him. Share it again just because I talked about it. Won't review the piece because I reviewed him earlier. Right? Let's keep going here. Here's somebody we got to stop and think about. Let's do it. Let's signal as high as we can. We need people like Foley61 viewers. Please jump back to your Twitter and highlight this man, Foley1. Foley1. We got 1, 10, and 19. Let's signal. 1, 10, and 19. Okay, let's go. We need to signal this. And I'll tell you why. We always need to signal a front runner for the art part to get these people in who don't understand the digital part. And we need somebody to tie you in and marry you at once. And we can use people like Foley to rally that in there, because you look at a piece like this, and if you're an original traditional style artist, you're going to respect it. If you're a digital artist, you're going to respect it. And I'm going to look to add people, which I did. He's got a key. Thank gosh. Oh my gosh. Please don't ever sell it. If you do, wham, bam, I might cry. I might come back, right? Never will stop loving Foley, because the traditional and the digital side together helps me marry what I came to do here in this community. It helps me get the people who understand art from a traditional side, and then it helps me get the collectors who want to come on a digital side. And when you represent NFT in the art world, you can slap somebody like a Foley down and say, well, what do you think about this? And then the conversation kind of ceases to exist. And then you slowly start introducing them to the next piece. And so just give me a second as the next piece pulls me as I look. That was close. Hold on. Oh, man. I don't know. You look at stuff like this and you got to stop and give it a chance. Because for me, I've seen a lot of art. I see a lot of NFTs. I see a lot of things. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is different. I love the architecture. I love the originality. I love that flat style, minimal. I love that type of painting where you've used that lady or that person or that man. It's incredible. I love how you're mixing the styles of being completely perfect, and then you come in here and you get blurry and messy with it, and then you come over here and get original with it, and then you get there's so many styles and things happening here, but it's incredible how you say enough. And the shadows and the light, oh, it is a great piece. Tesseract, thanks for allowing me to see that. There's so many little jewels in that. That can be in so many places. That's a fan. Whoever Mordock is, fantastic is actually, let me like that. It's fantastic. Let's review Hanning Was Lost. Let's review this. My goodness. My goodness. You want to come try to break stuff. Okay. Lot of stuff going on here. I love the splatters. I love the minimalistic gray, just plain chalk background. I love the tree trunk coming out from the bottom, turning into these people with these little souls or these different personalities, hurt, pain, somebody holding on. Don't let me lose you. Somebody carrying that from a root of evil. It's just the interpretation that you can get from art. So many different people could be put in a room and every last one of us could give a different explanation. And that's what makes this nice and incredible for me to share. I love the dripping of the eyes and I love the hair. I love that whole pencil pen stroke that you're doing here, the scribbling going on. The red dots are perfectly placed in all the right parts and the eyes. I love the halo in the middle. I mean, this stuff could symbolize and stand for a lot of things, and I think that's what art needs to do. It needs to be able to go into a collection, or it needs to be able to represent a lot of different angles for people to stare at and look at and say, wow, and that's a great piece that's going to make me say that. It's a great piece that's going to make me say that. I knew I was passing up DM1 to come to DM2, and I got to pick. I got to go from here, and I got to go from there. First of all, they're both incredible, but I'm going to go with this one for some reason. Let me tell you why. First of all, the light always captures me. This gives me a little sign of hope, gives me a little sign of rough times, gives me a lot of that, again, interpretation of where people could say broken, now they're fixed. Maybe they've been through something like this. Maybe they've been through a natural disaster. Maybe somebody else has. Maybe you've lost everything. You're looking for something else. Maybe this could be your daughter, your wife, your sister, your mother. The dog right there could be, it's a dog that's, you don't see the face, but it's very familiar. You've seen a dog of that type before. Then if you glance all the way at the back, which I'm seeing at the very front of that picture, there's a blur and there's a pond or this water and then this hill. It's amazing. This scenario that you're trying to capture. Because again, we never know if it's a photograph. We never know if it's original. That's not my job. My job is to understand how you chose this and how you viewed it and how you created it. And so, and again, the birds, every time people add birds in the art for me, peaceful, escape, tranquility. I mean, all these little words of they float in my mind. So I love the birds. I love the sky. I love the buildings getting crushed, the light coming through, the person overlooking the hill, the pond right there. It's incredible. And DM Designs, I see you're a strong supporter of mine. So I'm always going to share your art. And I'm probably even going to click this one on a like. I'm not going to click retweet on that because I don't want to clog the timeline up with that. I want to give people like Chevette. Oh, man. And I remember you do the Cookie Monster one now. So I'm getting familiar with you on different pieces. I love the originality, the familiarity. I love the nostalgic feel of understanding what's happening here. Everybody understands these characters, these type of style of puppetry. I see the way you, again, non-asset driven. You didn't down any of this stuff. You know what I mean? This is incredible. And the series I think that you're working on, or the way you're picking these pieces to create that kind of embody this, again, this memorable. I've seen this before. I've seen these characters before. I've seen these subjects before. I like people who do that with their art. I love people who do that with pop art. They come in here, they create this style. You get this Pulp Fiction feel right here. It's incredible. It's nice. I appreciate you stopping by, and I appreciate you being a supporter of mine, because you are a strong supporter. And I want to make sure, yes, for sure, I'm following. So I need to make sure that that works right there. Here's somebody I'm going to, whoa. Yeah, let's take this in as I take a sip of my bang. Nova. Fist_of_Nova. I've spoken about this before. I'll speak about it again. You need to add Nova to your network. Artists that signal original works that can bring in traditional plus digital are the bridge of highlighting what it is we do here. And when you see people like Nova, and you see these people who come with these original style works where they're creating them from scratch, and you're familiar with them, just like the last one that I shared, and they play on your memory, that's a art flex to me. And I need to signal that to show to others that I understand that. And when I can do that, I can almost speak myself into collecting it. I love the orange on the, I just love the color choices. What I see right here, and correct me if I'm wrong, because my eyes might be different than yours. I see red. I see this purple bluish tone. I see a black tone. And out of nowhere, orange. How do you do that? No. How do you do that? That's what I'm saying here. When you can do that, and then I look, and right here, let's my screen's not shared. Right here is the nostril part, the nose part of the mask. There are these three little whatever. What I'm saying is he could have left that out. He could have said, no, not today. He went ahead and lightly. That's what makes him incredible. That's why I'm adding somebody like that to the network. That's why I'm signaling with somebody like that to the network. You want to get in an art war with me? Let's flip over real quick. First of all, let's go back in the chat. 57 viewers here. Hopefully you're enjoying yourself on the official live art thread. It's Art and Culture Review number 3. It's the third one we're in right now. So I appreciate you joining. I appreciate everybody here in the chat. Let's talk about art wars. Okay. Let's talk about being in a community where a lot of people think that the art's not good enough, or this isn't considered art, or maybe NFTs, or whatever they think. You get into this match of an art war. It's an art discussion that people want to cancel you out of because you enjoy doing NFT. And so you have to add people who are going to add to the art war, like Nova. You're going to have to add people who are doing original and traditional style works who come over to the digital side, because we're early and we have to signal with people like that, like Foley earlier when I showed that. That's part of that original and traditional style that we need to learn how to leverage. And the reason why we want to leverage it is because of the art war part. They want to cancel out artists who spend their time doing this digitally. Thank you for doing this, freaks. This is an awesome opportunity. I appreciate you stopping by, Nate B. I could never do it without you. And for everybody who clicks follow and stops by and drops their art. And if I missed you, I'm sorry, but let it be known, I don't miss anybody purposely. I just have to freestyle this off the top of the dome. But again, we need to contribute to the art war part. And I'm making it up with you right here live. The art war part is understanding that NFT artists can battle in the world of art anywhere. We can put it on canvas. We can put it on print. We can put it on web. We can put it in any form of media. And so you ask artists about utility, and I need to tell you all about opportunity. And when you do great art, you better understand what opportunity physically has already existed for years, and now what's about to come. And if the players are here playing early, and I'm reviewing them here and putting my time in for them, well, it might be an early signal to go after. Because again, like I said, I got to go as I see. And I got to make it up on the fly. I can't make this up for people and just say, hey, look up in the sky and say abracadabra. You're going to look up and say, nothing's happening. Exactly. It has to make sense. It has to make sense. What's up, Yakuza? What's up, family? Shroom Step, Tesseract. We just saw your art. It was great. Ada, Tigga, Nate B in the house, Math Out, Novus. Hey. Let's get back to it. Let's get back to this web browsing. Right here, just got done with Nova. If you want to join us, listen, if you want to join us, let's go here. Let's do this live. If you want to join us, you can come right here to twitter.com/NFT freaks. You go over here to the pinned tweet, YouTube live art thread. You drop your art below this thread, 434 right here. I'm live here. And then after we push, we share on the main timeline. I need you to come and signal. Great signals happening. Thank you so much for everybody contributing. I really appreciate it. It matters. You could be next. And you want to signal based off of what I'm telling you. Listen, even if I equip you with this stuff that I'm telling you, it's a great form of strategizing in the community when you can understand what we are all after. And when you can explain that to people. Let's see if this is playing, by the way. Oh yeah, this is playing. Let's take a look at this. When you can explain that to people, let's take a look at this. My goodness. Wow. That guy speechless. It's a treat. It's eye candy. If you're not signaling, listen, if you're not signaling that art, you're really missing out on what we all came to do here. You have to signal this type of art so people can respect what you came to do. I'm telling you something right now. You need to find art you get behind that matters, so when you push it, people take you serious. And this is the type of art you find that's going to keep you serious in front of people's eyes, because they're going to say, you know what's happening. Exactly. No, and I'm telling you, I don't have no dog in these fights, by the way. Raphael, I can't even afford to own any of the pieces. I've been gifted a work of his that he made for me, but that's none of his animations. This is no pump. This is some serious shit. You have to signal with, when I signal with this person, that makes me look good. And yes, I'm supporting him. Yes, I'm pushing him, but it makes me look good. I'm in the art community. And so you have to understand that when we have art like this in our presence, when we have it at our disposal, we need to signal. We need to help signal and say, hey, look, I know what I'm doing, collector. I know what I'm doing there, peer. You need to come over here because I can signal with great art like this. That's what I'm saying. When you come off with art that is just a treat for your eyes, it's like a video game cutscene. It's a B-roll from a cutscene, seamless loop going on. You got the whole cyber division going on for the future. Wet floor that you can relate. You've seen this scene before many times in your life, this sort of wet floor. And when you say wet floor, look for the reflection. Oh, and you can see it. I can. Man, listen, Garib, add me. Plus, you're a great supporter of mine. I've seen you almost every day on my timeline. Thank you for stopping by and letting me see art like this in my timeline. It's incredible, man. I want to see more of this series. I want to see more of what this person, and you know, let's flip over. Let's flip over and talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit. When you can show us bots like that we've never met, and you add personality to that, that story can continue. And when the story continues, it becomes valuable. And when the story continues and becomes valuable, you get more collectors involved. And when you see the robot taking off for its first time from its back, we've never seen the front. We have no idea where he's headed or she's headed. And you gain interest because V's kicked it off with this little explanation. And so you run with it. That's what's going to make you a champion. Because then you're turning nothing into something. Because everything has no value. But you create value when you see pieces like that and you can breathe the life into it. Right? You can say, hey, you should meet this bot. Have you seen him when he took off into the subway? Have you seen him when he flew? Have you seen that? Have you seen this? And this is a great example. We'll go back to the web browsing. We'll come back down here. This is a great example of your first time meeting this character. You don't know his superpowers or her superpowers. You don't know anything. And you can build an entire story right off this piece. And the reason why is because you've captured the attention, because you've done the art well enough. Appreciate you stopping by. Appreciate you giving me a chance to review you. Here is somebody that I hope you help me fucking signal. Man. Dude. I don't know these people, by the way, but I'll get crazy for them. Listen, man. Incredible. Beyond. I mean, every time let's see it again, the process. He draws a sketch of what he's thinking. He comes in, he models, he does his own set visually. He's in this space creating it from God knows what. There's regular desks. He's taking pictures of this model, doing it 6, 7, 12 times. It's the same model. You think there's 8, it's just 1. And then he fucking creates a piece. I'm pausing it. And then, you know what he does? He says it's not enough, V, because, still, if it's a still shot, you're not going to be wowed. V, you're not going to be wowed. So let's animate it. Man, I'm out of here, dude. The lights flickering in the back. If you don't understand the power of this stuff, you're not going to understand why you want to collect it, ladies and gentlemen. You're not going to understand why one of one art matters until you understand what these people are doing and showing you. Incredible, man. Random freaks, you're incredible. You're amazing. That should have way more than 13. Yes. Yes. Here's somebody else that we're... let's take it in. You know how many times somebody could get a camera and take a picture like this and come up with very many different versions of the lights blowing out the actual frame? What I'm saying is you have to make sure that the picture is going to be a great shot. And right here to turn on the lights and know what we're looking for to create this sort of atmospherical feel is good. It's great. Oh yeah, it's awesome. I love the lights. I love the capture of the instruments. Oh, the plane. Yes. But that don't fucking matter to me. You know when it starts to matter to me? I told you, nothing has value for me. Nothing. It's just a plane shot. But then you glance over to the username. Wait a minute. This guy is embodying this stuff? You mean this is his You mean this isn't just one picture out of his... Oh, he's a Captain Kimmy? Wait a minute. He's a real airline pilot? Holy... And so what starts to happen for me, speaking about my own experience here, not yours, it's me reviewing it, and I'm keeping it real. That's when it starts to blow my fucking mind on what exactly I'm looking at, because now it's his stuff. And so when I highlight over him, 4,700 followers, almost 4,800, hopefully you get him here tonight. The Genesis captain of the NFT community, valuable. Airline pilot, training instructor, flying the Airbus for 20 plus years. Maybe I don't know what Airbus is. So I come over here, I click it. Holy crap. He's a real pilot? I go back. Man. Oh yeah. I'm going to follow. I'm going to add. And I'm going to try to freaking figure out how I can be a part of the Captain Kimmy's expedition. And this piece here allows you to be a part of that expedition. You see that he understands what's going on. It's almost complementing the PFP from the color choices you're using. It's just a great shot all the way around. I love how you did it. Again, I love how the lights aren't blowing out the shot. And I love how you've just caught the raw material. It's not edited of any sort. You could have easily put this in Photoshop and blacked out the front frame. You didn't. This is a raw shot and it's created perfectly. And it's just used with which, and that's what makes you incredible. I love the other shots that I've seen of yours too. And there's very few stuff minted of Captain Kimmy. And so that matters a lot too, because then it's like, oh my God, these is one of that. And that's why this is an incredible piece to share. Appreciate you stopping by. Appreciate you letting me see something like that. And I always appreciate your support and everything you've done for me, brother, because you've done a lot of things for me, believe it or not. And so that's not going to change my review about him. Don't get mad because my friends have it going on, right? Here's another person who has it going on for me, art-wise. The one and only Limbo. Art-wise, this username is incredibly gifted. And the understanding of what is a great caliber of works. A lot of people just mint anything, or maybe they have 20, 50, 80 pieces. They want to mint it all. They want to say, I have a huge catalog, V. I'm an artist. Yeah, so is Limbo. So are all these people. But the fact that they take a higher standard to the caliber of works, and this piece screams that. The golds, the modeling, the symmetrical value of when I chop it in the middle and I can see both sides match up for my OCD, the arms, everything is just, it's beautiful for my eyes to glance at. And I just want to keep staring. I want to keep looking and finding and hunting. I want to keep looking at the reflections. I want to, you know what I'm actually doing, Limbo? I'm finding where you're wrong, or I'm finding where it's not, and I can't. And that's where things start to get like, oh my God, it's that. It's that for me. I love the jewel setting that you're doing right there around the neck. I love the little sketches of the hieroglyphics and the statues where it goes up. So detailed. I love the reflections around the back with that popcorn style background, that middle black subject in the background that's overlooking with the gold dust in the eyes. Then you use the gold to hide. Amazing. Amazing, Limbo. Thank you for stopping by. Hope it gets way more than 8 and 8. Please. How many people are in there? Do we have technical difficulties? 54 of you. Oh my gosh. 8? No, we need more than 8. Please. Please, we need more than 8. Here's somebody else we're going to signal. Digital blasphemy. Check this out. I mean, when I want to escape in my mind, or when I want to do something in my mind and I want to get out of where I'm at, this is the type of atmosphere that I'm thinking about in my brain. I could never really formulate it with my pen or pad because I can't draw and I can't take you there in my mind. But if you ask me, where do I want to go and what do I want to do? This is what I do. I go to the water and to the lake to stare at the sun, to stare at the moon, to escape the madness of the city and other things. And people can relate to this type of scene. If you want to escape, if you want to go on an adventure, if you want to look up in the sky and kind of think about what the stars should look like, or think about what it is you should see in the sky, and then Digital Blasphemy comes out and does that. And it's a pleasure and a gift to find out that you're behind the wallpaper that I've had for ages. And I read a lot of people. So, I mean, you've heard it on and on and on. The wallpaper of those shrooms. I mean, I remember, dude, I would cuss myself out and be like, why do I keep wanting this wallpaper? And I would use it and I would come back to it. And so to see that now come through is like, what the heck? I can't believe that I would match up with somebody like you and see that going on. So I appreciate knowing the username now, which I do follow because of that history. I'm never going to hold that back. And of course, this piece with the galactic style Milky Way to the sky and the purple and the reflection of the palm trees just takes me somewhere that I want to escape to. And it's well done. And I'm going to keep going here. I'm going to keep going. Oh my God. If I seen you once, I mean, I kind of have to, Nova. I mean, come on, what the fuck? I got to, man. Jeez. I trust me, I did. I can't, I usually don't, but I won't talk about it twice. It's just, yeah. It's like, it's a reaction, y'all. But this Alexander, let's talk about Alexander. And by the way, I appreciate you joining me. I appreciate you tuning in. 49 viewers. I'm still going. We've been running for an hour and 20 minutes now. That's pretty cool, right? And I appreciate everybody who's taking the time out to be with me here and dropping their art in the thread and allowing me to review it. But again, remember, I am nobody. I'm just kind of adding my feedback and giving value where I can see this. Here's Alexander Shark. Let's talk about Alexander Shark, right? The username is super loyal. I'm in the back channels. I understand. I'm conversing. The username stands up for the people that support. Great username to add to your network because the support's always going to be there. Understands the art part, understands the NFT part. Let's talk about the piece. Got that split side with the demonic evil side and the right side, which most people have in their lives going on. Got that great capture of whether it's pencil or whatever they use to create this is different and original. It doesn't look asset driven. I love how your gradient shading out to its own subject of that wolf looking at me with the piercing eyes coming out of the bottom of that hole, keeping the black background in the back, and then the outline of the face from the left side, and then branching that out with the smoke coming from the bottom. And then again, the mouth is so detailed. I'm looking at the tongue and the teeth and the slobber. It's amazingly well done because the other side of that is so beautiful at the same time. And so it's a wicked piece because it's scary, but it's beautiful if you can understand and look at that. Let's see who else I can get at. Let's see who else I can get at. Oh, here's a treat for us. Here's a treat. Let's really define the MBSJQ, right? For me, this is my opinion. You can do Astros. I'm not hating on it. But if you want to know who the king of Astro is in the NFT community, it is MBSJQ, and that's all I'm going to say. I don't care if you know where he's doing, Howie. You did it. You're not. You're not putting the consistent drive and passion and creating a legacy behind some of the best Astro work that I've ever put my eyes on. And here's another piece that solidifies it for me. I love the colors. I love the elegant style. I love the flowers, the whites, the pinks on the rocks. I could give this is what bothers me about the community a little bit. Let me go on a little rant. You should definitely signal with this, and I appreciate everybody tuning in. Let's take it to the front head real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Emery, I appreciate you subscribing. Anybody here who subscribes to me, thank you so much. And thank you for sharing your Saturday with me. By the way, 2:12 on the clock, 7:30, the July 30th. 50 viewers. We're live for an hour and 23 minutes. I'm here at home. But let's talk about assets. Let's talk about people getting and knowing and understanding. And listen, if I give you this can and say, make me X, I will still get back 100 different variations. Absolutely. The way you paint it, the way you treat it, the way you manipulate it, the way you move it, the way you care for it, and then most of all, the way you publish it. And not only the way you publish it, the way you represent it after you publish it. It's all of the above. It's not just that you know. Even if you knew, are you willing to stand behind it, consistently publishing and standing next to it and teaching and educating and turning believers, which are collectors? I am Shroom. I'm trying to. Listen, you know, when I was misinformed, I used to be scared to tell people about my fishing equipment. What is it that you're using over there, V, to catch those fish? Oh, don't tell him. Don't tell him. We're in a tournament. Don't tell him. And one of these older guys told me, he said, I'll tell you, because when we get there, you'll still have to know how to wiggle that worm and present it with style. He told me, I'll tell you what I'm using, because even when you get there, you still have to present it with the right technique and style. He's right. He's right. It doesn't matter if you know about the brush strokes, the Astros, the crystal balls, this, that, he, what, where, why. Are you doing it and representing it daily? Are you pulling it off? Or are you dabbling, splashing, rolling around, showing people? That's not the same thing. It's not the same thing, even if you act like freaks one day, if you can't act like freaks for the rest of the time. There's no consistency to the value. That's why these things like YouTube and other things will keep happening, because originally I came here for that. I didn't copy anything that I'm seeing. And so the innovation here will continue. So it doesn't matter who acts like me. It doesn't matter if there's a Freaks Part 2. It doesn't matter if you know my art, my asset, my colors, all of that. What matters is, are you willing to present it the same way as I will? And if you think you can, then I'll see you on those platforms. And it takes a while to see that. It takes a while to see that people will be doing X, Y, Z, and you'll think, but the question is can you do that for years? Because that's what they're expecting of you, Keyrun. Hey, I appreciate you joining. We'll flip back to the art thread. We'll continue for a little while longer, and then we'll bring it in for the close for the third edition of Art and Culture, a review that happens online at twitter.com/NFT Freaks. And by the way, I'm highlighting NFT projects and pieces all day. I champion one of one artists on Twitter. Anybody can tell you I do this stuff for free without asking for any dollars of any sort. And we'll just keep it going here with 2Flex. Great piece here. I love the originality, the splatter works that come into an actual subject in a painting, the mysterious woman where you could put anybody there, your sister, cousin, aunt, mother. I believe art that never really shows the facial features, so you can't rule it out that it isn't your relative or it isn't something that strikes your memory. I love that about art. This is why I like this piece. 2Flex. I've never really seen the name, but I hope I get to know you. Let's go, my friend. You got some friends out there. I appreciate you stopping by and giving us a look at this. Beautifully done. And that screams art all day. All day. Let's keep going here. Let's see what pulls us next. Okay, Jay. Jay, wow. Look at this. I love that sexy, sleek, luxurious design where, again, symmetrical value sort of on the right where I could split it down the middle and I could see it. That thing plays on my mind so well. It's an obsession of mine. I love the isolation with the black background, the front subject coming through with the reflection from the top, the halo on the bottom with the knobs. It looks like a sculpture of some sort. Then it looks like that thing could be floating, this DNA sort of Atom-style figure. Man, if that was an actual sculpture that I saw in a museum, I'd definitely be surrounding it and taking pictures. And what I like about it is that it matches the PFP, which looks like this is a series of some sort that continues between light and darkness, 3D, NFT t-shirts, prints. Wow. Wow. Thanks for stopping by and letting me view something like that. Let's see what else we got. Oh, look at this. Look at this lady. She wants to play. You know, I passed up a piece earlier of Shauna because I was hoping I'd see another one because her range is incredible. And so I was willing to bank on the fact that if I skipped the first one, which I've reviewed before anyways, that I was going to see another one that was going to play on, and here it is. Never, ever stops to amaze me what you pull out of your freaking britches. Telling you right now, this sculpture that's coming to life with the subtle animation, the white play, the minimalistic, luxurious feel. You're giving me that metaverse style personality. I'm seeing the glimmer in the hair, the shimmer. Oh, man. I would not mind seeing that on my wall, just doing that over and over. It's got that feel. The blinking is done perfectly, I think. The head movement, that's a great piece. Thanks for dropping. I'm just staring at it. I'm hypnotized by it, kind of. I'm still trying to figure it out. It's perfectly done. Thanks for dropping that. I love the whatever that thing is, glacier, whatever they call that thing. That thing is amazing too. The pattern up there with the crystals and the diamonds sticking up, man, that's amazing. I want to review this real quick. Sorry, I'm getting winded. You hear me? I'm getting winded. This art trying to get to me. Give me 1 second. I'm going to be right back. Let me take a break. Be right back. All right. I just took a drink, coughed, took a couple breaths. Coming in here for a landing now. I want to review art like this because I want to give people hope and understanding that we're not just looking for art that's drop dead movie style, cut B-roll, video game. No. We're looking for the creative side. We're looking for originality. I am. I'm looking for an artistic side that screams originality, that says, hey, look at me and find out a little bit more about me, of who I am. Why? Because look what I'm doing that's different. Here's a piece that does it for me. It makes me want to know who Christoph is more of. It makes me want to signal with stuff like that to bring more people in like you. These are the type of works that I want to mix in my daily cook-up so that other people understand I'm willing to play with range. I'm willing to add peers of that nature. I'm willing to add followers of that nature. I'm willing to be a part of your art world if you're willing to be a part of mine. And if somebody's not willing to like my perfected, minimalistic, symmetrical, whatever style I'm representing, then I want to be able to offer you art like this so I don't lose you as a follower and as a viewer. This is the type of art that I'm wanting to share for that style, because there's people out there that enjoy that. There's people, and I enjoy that because of that, right? Let me keep going here. Wow. I'm a 17-year-old. Holy moly macaroni. Look at this. From old Shive, 17-year-old 2D artist, born too late to explore the world, born too early to explore the universe, born right on time to... Who is this guy? Who's this witty? Listen, for me, because you know me, I'm a smartass. And so for me, I love other... Oh, wow. Oh, okay. First of all, we're going to go wham. Then we're going to come over here. Okay, yeah, we want to make sure. We want to make sure we shared that first, then we shared the actual piece. Piece says, this is amazing. This is great. I love the minimalistic style. I love the colors you're using. I love the outlines of the black where you're just kind of noticing the subjects. You're noticing a tree. You're noticing there's somebody boat. I love how you turn the moon or the sun, I believe it's the moon, red, solid red like that to keep it in line with that minimalistic design. Amazing for me. I love when people pay attention and they don't do too much, they don't do too little, but they keep it just right for to call it that piece. And Shive, I saw your piece that I pinned. Let's see here. I saw these pieces here that you pinned, and I mean, I can see that same style over here to the top left. Crazy amazing. Then I look over here at the Astro with the style that you're using with the snow or the ice coming down to the left with the red valley back there. I mean, it's just, I like it. I want to know more. I like the simplistic, minimalistic, clean style that you're presenting. And this is the piece that introduces it to me, right? Here's another person I want to represent for. Because I like this little character you do. I've always been a fan. I've always kind of drawn this, not this, but I've drawn something similar to this where it's this quick style, but you do it so well. You actually make it like a character. I could see this on merch. I could see this on hats. I could want more of this. Just smile, hurt inside. I love the eyeballs. I love that Felix the Cat style, or I don't know where I've seen that before, but I've seen that style before too. But you do it so much nicer than how I would ever envision it. Because again, and I like the It's Okay on the fingers, the gloves coming out like the usual Mickey Mouse gloves. And then I like the username, strong supporter of mine, Sly Guys user, plus has the Eric John Pizza, combined 2 NFTs to create a PFP, shows me you're willing to go out the way to champion. I want to build with people like that. That's why I'm sharing this art. So it's a pleasure to have you as a supporter. I enjoy this type of artwork because it gives me a relief from the regular people copying each other, or maybe asset-driven style, or maybe the movie cut or the traditional art. I love this sort of original, unique, this is me. And that's what this screams for me, because I haven't seen it done by anybody else. Let's go for a couple of more, and then let's bring this in for a close. Let's see who we got here. Let me just check. You know it. You know I'm going to have to. How could I not? First of all, I'm a collector. So I have to, right? If I'm a collector, I have to for the people I collect. That's just a must. So I'm glad I was actually able to see this. But do you understand why? Do you see the art? Do you see the originality? Do you understand that this piece for me is showcasing that art war part as well? I love people who take art to the extreme caliber of saying this is true artistry. And for me, when you're creating stuff that's original, this is true artistry for me. This mystical, mysterious, spellbinding, the sort of dark. I don't like a lot of the super satanic. I don't like a lot of that stuff. This right here allows me to enjoy darkness without getting too far into it for me, right? And that's why I'm a collector of these pieces. That's why I represent for these pieces. I love it. I enjoy it. It's crazy artistic. I love the webbing on the hands. I love the little soul casting. I love this sort of clean and this evil side. I enjoy it. So I appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate being a collector, and I hope we get more than 6 and 8 on that. You have to signal with great people like that. And I'm going to keep going, trying to pull a couple more before we get out of here. Just some crazier ones that kind of pull, and then we'll go back up. And if this is where it stops, then we'll keep going. Hold on, let's see. You're in a room, you get a piece of paper, you're only going to get a couple of pieces. Everybody gets a piece, right? Not everybody gets the same piece. And you're going to be in this room for an hour or two. What piece do you think you'll enjoy looking at the most? Don't worry, I'll wait. My point is, there's so many little Easter eggs and rewards for your eyes that you could spend the time in those 2 hours to enjoy what you're looking at and be able to make your own assumptions throughout the art that you're staring at. When it's really busy like this and you take a lot of time and to create all these little different structures and different things that could mean something for me or could pull, and I can make my own designs out of them, I can keep myself busy. I think that's a crazy, unique style that people represent, and Shroom did a great job at that. And I can't believe that when I zoomed, I didn't even fucking realize what I was staring at until I zoomed out. There's two people enjoying each other. That's what I'm talking about, man. I literally came in here looking far into it because it's big on my screen, and I'm really looking inside. I was never looking outside. And then I said, and I'm scrolling out, and then it hit me. Two people enjoying. That's what I'm saying, Shroom. It's amazing. I love eye candy like that. And I think people enjoy that when it comes to the word art. I think that's awesome how you did that. Seriously, I really opened that for the busyness. I wanted to look at the little Easter eggs inside there. I didn't look at the overall piece. Amazing. Amazing how you did that. Man, I've seen this username before. Let me make sure I know what I'm talking about. Give me a second. Yep. I've seen this username before. All eyes on me. I mean, get out of here. Get out of it. Now my Texas is going to come out. I love people who can make their own style of personality. You could see this subject coming to life, taking over, having some captions that represent the personality, maybe doing some mind control, the eyes flicker, the blue kind of gets into you, really evil. You look at the overall presentation here, floating with the toes pointed down, the silver with the cape. It's just incredible what these people can do here, man. And what I love about people who create these sort of characters, I love that normal people, you can't see my screen. I got to fix it where I get my thing and I start highlighting things. But if you look at the very top, normal artists who aren't, I'll say, who are a bit more lazy, they'd go with this top texture all the way as the skin. For you to come in here and do these imperfections and show this different type of stress level around the eye sockets and the nose, fucking blows my mind. It makes me crazy. It really does. Even the way you put that eye socket in where it looks like it's inside of that little pocket and you've kind of put this sub-surgery around it. It's incredible, man. It's incredible. And that's why I think Poker Chick said the up close personal. It's just crazy how you do that. Give me a second. We'll find a couple of more and then we'll bring this in for close. Here's one. I didn't know if this was an L-Rock or what it was. I love this 2D tattoo, real busy punk rock, cyberpunk, rebellious. I love this sort of where I could see posterized later, this bright colored. I just love it. I love the "you cool" in the back. I could see this in a locker. It just represents empowerment of being yourself. You can do whatever you want with it. And I'm always going to represent for art like that. And I'm always going to share art like that. Give me 1 second. I'll cut out and I'll be right back as we bring this in for a close. All right, we'll bring it in for a close right here with these last few pieces, and then I'm out of here. First of all, I appreciate you tuning in. If you like what you hear, feel free to like, subscribe, and follow the channel. We'll be doing these more and more. I'll also be highlighting some tips and tricks in the NFT world. We'll be discussing some other things in the community, and I'm going to start a top 10 soon of new artists and drops that are happening. We're definitely going to be trying to grow our community beyond just Twitter and beyond just us regularly doing NFT in the community. And the way we do that is by exercising these platforms and going further with it. Here's another piece I want to highlight real quick because of the artistic side. Wow, incredible. I love the colors. I love the marijuana leaf on the little headphones. Represents that sort of rebellious side. You got the partners here, a partnership that could be happening at home. You got the one side dark animal here. It looks like a leopard or maybe a puma of some sort. Then you got the tiger. Two forces combining, the cyber style coming in with a little, I love the tubing that people use and the sort of, if you can see this headgear and the sort of wrap around on the chin strap, it always makes it look so cyber exotic to me. And whoever started that stuff is amazing because I look at some pieces, they really get detailed with that. And this right here could be on some merch. It could be a tattoo. And you could definitely see how this could easily be shared here. And I appreciate you stopping by on my network. AJ Ahidiot. I haven't really heard about this username too much, but I'm willing to learn more. So I appreciate you stopping by. And I love the gray style background with the birds floating up top. Getting a little winded, been almost going for 2 hours. Look at this real quick before we're out of here. Yoru. Wow. Look at that original style anime work of some sort. I love the way you did that skin texture with the sort of reflection. I love that background that you're bringing in. That's sort of three-dimensional. I love that look back with the eyes. I love the minimalistic approach on the hair. I love when artists come in here and create these pieces and then they say, you know what, that's enough. And I think those are hands grabbing her back. Or I think that's somebody trying to pull her back. And I see the red dripping off the hand. This is just, let me highlight your username real quick. 19 psychological horror artist. I got to learn more. Real quick. Wow. Okay. There's a story. The Expressionless series storyline. A young girl was brought to this due to her mental pale skin blank. Oh, yeah. I love people who are going to embed stories. I want to read about it later. I want to learn about it later. And if a piece like this is going to get me there, then hallelujah, let's take me there. Yoru, I appreciate you stopping by. Hopefully people can signal and bring more people in. We want artists from different countries, continents, Thailand, you-land, we-land, everywhere. We want everybody to come and be a part of this NFT community. And it's going to be more people are going to come when we invite users and we support users like Yoru, who stopped by and gave us that great piece. So please support. We're also going to support this piece. I love the colors that you chose. I love the animation, how subtle it is. I love the star and the moon. I love the floating. I love that anime style artistic work. I love the water floating. Alina, digital NFT artist 707. Can't wait for you to grow more. hitting a couple more art pieces, and then I am out of here. And I appreciate you joining here for number 3 of Art Review and Culture. Let's bring in motion designer, visual artist. So this is some performance art. I definitely want to highlight this stuff. Oh yeah. You know, NFT's a big thing. It's not just art, it's arts, artworks. It's what you consider your craft and passion: dancing, performance arts, music. Maybe you're doing anime, GIF, clay style animation, stop and go animation. Maybe you're doing pen, pencil. It doesn't matter. The idea is, if you're willing to sell out to the craft and the passion and mint behind it and put your blood, sweat, and tears and times and encapsulate that for collectors to collect, then you're able to birth value, because the more collectors that come, the more value starts to be birthed. And so performance artists like this, their job is the same as any artist like that in the NFT community trying to make it happen. So I'm always going to signal new people trying to come here to make it happen. Omid, I appreciate you. I'm going to do a couple more and then I'm out of here. And please, please, please support me on Twitter so that I can do more of these. I do like this. I have to cut right here and go into this. Paradox, a great supporter of mine. I see you come support me every day. Thank you so much. I love this minimalistic style approach. I've seen some other artworks of yours that rock with the same style, but I love this sort of this symmetry that you put it back with the black and white, and then you use these objects before it's all said and done, front and center with the play symbol that matches. I love the symbolism that you're doing. Then I love the simplistic approach that you're doing with the hair and the body works. And then you outline with just a couple of lines to give me this sort of emotional connection. And I can't believe you do it so simple, because I would think that you'd have to be really busy to do that. No. You do it so well. And that's what I love about artistry. And this is a person who does it. So I appreciate you stopping by. And then we come down here, Arjun, NFT artist. I got to find out more before I share this piece so I know what I'm talking about. Give me a second. Wow. I don't know if this is AI, original works, what it is, but this is fantastic. I love these collage style works that look like they have a lot of things going on, but they're still cleanly done. And they make a beautiful piece with the colors and all of the things that you're using, the birds, the peacocks, the flowers, the background, the little angel sculptures in the front and center, the dove flying out. Looks like a lot's going on, but it's enough going on to call this piece a great piece. And I appreciate you sharing that with us and stopping by. And now I'm going to look for the final one, the final work. I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate you supporting. I hope more and more of these can go down. I've been going now for almost 2 hours nonstop. Pretty proud of myself, actually. Pretty proud. I'm looking for one more. Theta, you're in the runnings. You're in the runnings, Theta. One more. I need to give my energy to one more. It's got to be a great one. And they're not saying these aren't great, but the one's got to pull me. Give me a second. And I look at all of them. This is what I do every day. Every day y'all drop art, I look at these. Wow. That's in the runnings. That's in the runnings. That's in the runnings. All good. That's in the, I love. I'm going to share it anyways, regardless, but I just want one more RNG. Oh man, I always fall in love with your art. Oh man, this is it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the one. It's just that one. And I think that's how it happens. If I have a wallet, how I pull the trigger, it's a stunner. That's what it is. It's a stone cold stunner. Why? First of all, it's not the first time I've seen the username after I start thinking about what I'm looking at and who I'm looking at. Then the sculpture style subject that's getting broken open with the emotion that you're capturing, the colors that you're using, the birds up top, the electricity, the energy that you're kind of capturing in that one shot. It almost looks like if this was a picture, this could be almost anybody's life crashing down or maybe exploding, escaping. This could mean so many different things. The way that the subject is created, it could still be a guy, even though it looks like a girl, but you never really staple that down. Again, you leave the assumptions to the mind. And when you're looking at artworks, you're looking at NFT, you're looking at photography, you're looking at original, traditional, digital. There's so many of these things happening right now for me that make me feel like this is a great last piece for me to share. I love the reflection off the lips and the teeth. I love the way it breaks into the fire. I feel like you've done whatever here just enough to say, that's it. And you know what? That's what makes this stream, that's it for me. And I want to give one final thought as I go front head. 2 hours, 1 hour, 52 minutes reviewing art, 50 viewers. I don't know how many we reached, but this will conclude the art and culture review number 3. I really appreciate all the support I get on NFT Freaks. I really appreciate everybody that stuck around, even if your art wasn't shared. And for those who were shared, I hope you go around and share others, because we gave you the time to be highlighted and they didn't. And so it's only fair if you come around and highlight some people after you've been highlighted yourself, so that these threads here can be beneficial for everybody. These streams are going to benefit me overall. They're on my channel. I've taken the time out to create them. I can't create them without you. So at the same time, I want to champion you. That's why I make my art threads. And because so many people make art threads, I need to be able to explain them further so that my art threads could seem a little bit more valuable to my community. And hey, listen, it's not a challenge. It's not a race. It's not like I'm trying to show you and show. No. I'm just trying to provide value for our community, collectors, artists, and enthusiasts all about. And so I'm going to let the chat run for a little bit longer, but this is the absolute conclusion of this stream. And so thank you again for everybody tuning in, and I'll see you next time. And I'm live, twitter.com/NFT Freaks. Our Instagram.com/NFT Freaks is growing. We're hitting some great numbers. Our network is going to grow. If you help me grow on Instagram now early before everybody gets there and we grow, because I'm going to put the consistent time behind it, I'm going to champion you faster because you've helped me when I needed it. And so a lot of us, and that's the closing thought here, a lot of us are going to need support throughout our whole lives. That's never going to change. But there's a time here where you really need it. And then there's going to be a time where you need just a little bit of it, because the volume of support is going to already be there for a lot of these superstars. And so getting in there early and representing now and being loyal to that art and artist now matters more than it does later, because later the achievements and the accomplishments are going to rally a lot more people into that. And so always have that on your mind. And if you want to free yourself of that conviction in the NFT space, you head over to my art thread. You head over to the free resource, which we call NFT Freaks. And that's me. And you support that bunch for free. Hey, I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all next time. Thank you.